Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be sharing the top 5 apps which I use for my iPad. First we've got LastPass, and LastPass is basically an app which allows you to store lots and lots of different passwords or important information. I use this alongside Apple Keychain, and Apple Keychain is just Apple's version of like a password manager. I actually don't use LastPass for sort of day-to-day passwords, I just use like the Apple Keychain for that. I use LastPass sort of for storing important bank details, because if you do online banking, you've got more than just like a single user and password. You've got like your passcode, and you've got like all these other security questions, and I always forget them, so I just save them into LastPass, and whenever I need it I can just open up LastPass and just get the password or the code or the PIN number from there. LastPass is really safe. I don't exactly know how it works, but I've done my research on it, and yeah, it is really safe for you to store all your passwords on there. What's great about LastPass is it's completely free to use. Obviously there is a paid version, subscription, and it's not that expensive. I only use the free version, and it's completely served my needs because I'm a standalone user. Don't have any friends or family which use it, so I haven't needed to buy the subscription. It recently changed. Before the free version, you could use it on your iPhone, your iPad or tablet, phone, and your sort of PC or laptop. Unfortunately, they've now changed it that you have to be a paid member or paid user to use it on both devices. What that means is I've now selected my phone and tablet to be my single device. So it's not actually a very big deal for me because I carry my phone around with me all the time, so if I do need to use internet banking, I can just log into LastPass on my phone or my iPad and just get the PIN numbers from there. Because like I said, I'm using Apple Keychain for my day-to-day passwords anyway. Moving on to the next app, and that is Procreate. Now Procreate is much more tailored for like artists, so really not for me. I actually only downloaded this app when I was furloughed because I wanted to learn a new skill, and that was to learn how to draw. I started following some tutorials or some like lessons on Skillshare. But after maybe a couple of weeks, I kind of lost a bit of interest because I really wasn't very good at it, and yeah, I just fell out of it basically. So why is this app even on my list? And that's basically because I use Procreate specifically for creating my YouTube thumbnails. What Procreate is essentially a poor man's version of Photoshop for the iPad, and at £10 I think it's a relatively well priced app considering how powerful it is. I haven't found like a photo editor worthy of downloading on my app for a good price, so I'm going to be sticking with Procreate for now because I just don't see the need to spend, I don't know, £50 to £100 on a piece of software just specifically for the Mac just to make thumbnails, because that's basically all I do with it. For £10 I think it's a really good app. Unfortunately Procreate doesn't offer a free version or even a free trial, so you might just have to take my word for it that it is a really good app. Definitely only download it if you know you probably get some good use out of it. So moving on to the next app, and that's GoodNotes 5. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I use GoodNotes 5 for basically all my digital handwritten note-taking or PDF markups. This is where I do my handwritten calculations as well. I think GoodNotes 5 has a really nice writing experience as well as a really good user interface. I've tried Notability and I much prefer GoodNotes in terms of the writing experience and also the file management. GoodNotes 5 costs about £8 I think in the UK, and I think it's really worth it. What's more, there's a dedicated GoodNotes app for macOS, and basically if you've paid and bought GoodNotes 5 for your iPad, you don't exactly have to pay anything extra to download the GoodNotes 5 app for the Mac. The app on the Mac works really well, and sort of copying data across from iPad to Mac is really quick. It's also been like a really good PDF reader and writer for the Mac, and it's basically replaced the sort of default PDF reader for me. Next we have Concepts, and again, if you've seen my other videos, you know that Concepts app is the app I do all my engineering sketching on. Concepts is a vector-based app, so basically when you export the PDF, it is really high quality. This app is free to use, and I think it comes with some pretty good features for the free version. I have opted to sort of pay for some specific functions, and I think the main one was some unlimited layers usage and to export to PDF. I think I've only paid about £10 to £15 total for this app. which I think is really, really good value considering that I've been using this for about 4 years now. There is a subscription-based model, but I do like the fact that Concepts gives you the choice to either go subscription-based or to buy individual things which you need, because sometimes when you buy the subscription there are features which you just never need to use, so why pay for stuff which you won't use? Since this app is free, I think it's a no-brainer for you just to give it a try. As an engineer, I think Concepts app is way better than Procreate for doing engineering type drawings and sketches. I have tried doing engineering sketches on Procreate and it's just way easier doing it on Concepts, and the quality is just way better because, like I said earlier, Concepts is vector based. And of course, the app I use the most is Notion. A surprise, if you haven't checked out my Notion video, go check it out. As a very, very quick summary, Notion is basically a note-taking app and a project management tool. If you've ever tried anything like Trello, where it's got that sort of Kanban style like project management card system, Notion's got it, but it's also got a lot of really useful note-taking functions as well. I think the way Notion organizes notes and has all these tables and databases is really, really good. I try to minimize the number of apps I use. I find that if I've just got an app to do a certain thing here and a certain thing there, I'll just lose track and I'll eventually just stop using them. The great thing about Notion is it does so much, and I can really rely on Notion doing pretty much 99% of all the things I need to do when it comes to sort of organizing, taking digital notes and project management. Notion is completely free, but there is a subscription tier which you can pay for. I am a free user and you can use it on desktop browser, or you can download like an iOS or Mac app, and it also runs on Android and Windows as well. If you haven't realized already, I am pretty frugal. I really don't like buying stuff on subscription. I'd much rather just buy an app outright and then it's done. You know, pay 10 or 20 pounds for an app and then I've got it for life. I don't have to worry about updating it all the time with, you know, paying money constantly for it. Which is why I really like Notion and Concepts, because they have such a good free version, and if you really want to help support them and get some extra features, then you can pay money, but you know, you're not tied into it. I've got 2 apps actually which I think deserve an honourable mention, and the first app is LumaFusion. So before I got my Mac Mini, I was doing all my video editing on LumaFusion on my iPad. Obviously when I got my Mac, I transitioned to Final Cut Pro, but LumaFusion is actually a really, really good app for video editing. If you need a little bit more sort of freedom and more creativity than sort of the free video editor which comes with the iPad, iMovie I think it's called, then I think LumaFusion is kind of the go-to app for that. The app costs about £20 I think, and whilst that might seem quite steep, I think it's kind of worth it given how powerful it is. There were some problems and some things I didn't like how it organised or managed all your video files. I kind of really didn't like it, or I didn't really understand, or it wasn't easy to understand how it was sort of storing all the backup of the videos, and I really felt the only way to clear all the memory or get my storage back was to delete loads and loads of files, which was a kind of pain in the ass. The next honourable mention is actually an app called Craft, and it's a fairly new app. I think it came out of the beta test in sort of November last year, so they're constantly updating it and adding new features, which I think is great, and I think they really, really listen to their user base. I've been using it on and off, more just to try it and to sort of keep up to date with the features that they're adding. It's a note-taking app, kind of like Notion, except it doesn't have any of the sort of project management tools, which is a shame, but I think they are intending to add it in later this year, which is why I'm kind of keeping an eye out and just keeping an eye out on all the updates for it. Because it doesn't have any of the sort of project management features of Notion, this is why I haven't jumped ship completely. Again, there's a free version for you to use, or you can pay a subscription for it. The app was built specifically for the iPad, so the UI is really, really slick and fast if you're using it for the iPad. Unfortunately, there is no Android or Windows version yet, but I think, again, they are in the works of developing that as well. The main reason I'm actually so interested in this app is because of just how fast the app is. Notion is great, but sometimes when it does things, it is really, really slow. It just takes absolutely forever to do things. And the way that I work, I just really want things to just work straight away. I don't want to wait. and Craft doesn't have any like lag or delay, and it is just so good. I just wish that it had those project management features. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for when they do update the app and add in those project management features. So make sure you like and subscribe to get notified for when I upload that video. There are other apps which I use, but maybe not as frequently or that special, which I think are that noteworthy. I mean, I use the sort of default mail app and also the reminders app for sort of very quick day-to-day tasks or reminders. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video and maybe you would give some of these apps a try, especially if they have free versions. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.